Hey there, I'm Adam, and if you know me or you've been following this channel for a while, you'd know that I love Troop Beverly Hills. That's right, the 1989 Shelley Long film has been entertaining me for now 37 years. Yeah, we just passed that milestone. It's a film that I just can't get enough of in any format. How about on Laserdisc? How about a foreign release? Yeah, I got them from all over the world. Even like I could just go for the movie trailer every now and again. That's right, we got it right here. In the past, I've gone through my collection, including things like a press kit or some ads from the trade magazines to get people to order their copies to go into their video stores. But recently, I found something very special, something I did not know existed, something that just kind of blew my mind, a piece of promotional material. This is the Beverly Hills Survival Guide, published as a public service by Troop Beverly Hills of the Wilderness Girls of America. So what this is it's a little pamphlet that was published when the movie came out. I'm going to assume it was sent to, I mean, maybe video stores, probably newspapers and things like that, just to drum up some interest. But it is created in the style of a wilderness girls survival book, so it's something like if you were ever in Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts, that is a thing where it's going to give you some activities, it's going to give you some tips and things like that. This is really fun. They went above and beyond. So I'm going to bring some scans up here for you to enjoy, and we're going to take a look at the hilarity that is inside this thing, okay? So as you can see here on the cover, it says, if you like our cookies, you'll love this book. And of course, cookie time is what it's all about in that movie. But let's go to the first page here. Welcome to Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, California is just like any other American community where the average income is $250,000 a month, where the post office offers valet parking, where the neighborhood watch is a Rolex. Get it? Where the high school has the same publicist as America's Most Wanted, where a hairstylist will come to your home and clip both you and your poodle, where a traffic accident is a crash of status symbols. Huh? I mean, that's a crazy one right there. You got to think about that. Where living below the poverty line means owning a condo south of Wilshire, where the police department has an unlisted number. And remember that, that's going to come up later. Where the customary graduation gift is a new stereo, attractively packaged in a BMW. And where a simple designer frock costs the lifetime earnings of a Serbian peasant. Of course, that includes the champagne they serve while the Serbian peasant is trying it on. Beverly Hills is justifiably proud of how far it has come since Maria Rita Valdez survived an Indian raid on what is now Sunset Boulevard and sold her 4,500-acre ranch for $4,000. It's still a great street for scalpers. Ooh, okay, so that one hasn't aged well. Yet people who live in Beverly Hills appreciate life's simple pleasures. They enjoy nothing more than to come home from a hard day's shopping at Gucci or Giorgio, pour out a goblet of Chateau Rothschild 36, pop the top on a bucket of Beluga, relax with this year's husband or wife, and maybe phone the kids on the intercom. To acquaint you with our community, the Beverly Hills Troop of the Wilderness Girls of America has prepared this handy survival guide. We've also made a movie based on the exploits of our peerless leader, Phyllis Neffler, who led us out of the wilderness and on to Rodeo Drive. Really, they are playing this. This is my favorite thing in movie promotion and anything where they kind of cross the boundaries between reality and fiction, right? So they're producing this as if as part of their promotion of the Wilderness Girls of America, they wanted to create awareness, and they're doing that through a movie as well as this little survival guide, right? Now, what you'll notice is on the bottom of these pages, there are these little jokes, and these are like joke book jokes. These are old school things, but they're actually kind of clever for the time, playing with the opulence of the Beverly Hills lifestyle. And it says here, if Tarzan and Jane lived in Beverly Hills, what would Cheetah be? If you don't remember Cheetah, Cheetah was the chimpanzee that was the companion to Tarzan in those old movies. And the answer is a fur coat. Yikes. I mean, we've heard of, mink coats and things like that, but chimpanzee fur, I don't think it's as soft or as sought after as you might think. But I guess when you have all the rest. Okay, so next up here is the essential wear and gear for Beverly Hills Survival. We do recall when they went to the supplies store and Harriet Winslow was there to sell them their outfits. Well, this is interesting because they say there are hills in Beverly Hills. Otherwise, they would have called it Beverly Flats. The important thing when you head for the hills is to dress the part and have the right equipment. Here, for example, is Mrs. Phyllis Neffler, garbed and groomed to lead the members of Troop Beverly Hills into the wilderness on an overnight hike. Notice how she embodies the troop's motto: come prepared or don't come at all. So this is her look when they do their first camp out. A designer pith helmet. Every hat should make a fashion statement. This one shrieks, "It's a jungle out there." Hairstyling by Christoph, the natural look that lonely mountain men adore. And that is a joke that is in the movie, Lonely Mountain Men. Emerald brooch, wilderness girls with patches for being good. Their mommies get jewelry. So there you go. Dom Perignon 82, thirst can make you delirious, and you need a clear head in the woods. How about the magazines? Cosmo, New Woman, Vanity, Fair, Spy, Taxi. Just because you're stranded doesn't mean you have to be out of touch. A full-length white ermine coat. Ermine, don't get frostbite. Why should you? A tin of beluga caviar. The sea rations of the social set. Roughing it in the wild demands good nutrition. A sterling silver cigarette holder. Beverly Hills has the toughest no smoking laws in America. In a store that sells $5,000 cigarette holders, you figure it out. So it is kind of funny in the juxtaposition there. A chaise lounge, a comfy cushion for a cushy camp out, and finally, high-heeled pumps from the Imelda Marcos Overkill collection. Great for trampling peasants or tiptoeing around delicate social situations. And we should mention in the background is the canopied waterbed with duvet and French lace mosquito netting. Here's our next joke here. What did the Beverly Hills socialite do when the flying saucer landed on her lawn? She turned it over to look for the label. You got to have those designer UFOs, right? All right, next year we have our Beverly Hills Survival Guide, Beverly Hills emergency telephone numbers. This is pretty fun, the categories they have here. You're supposed to be filling it out for yourself, right? So as far as lawyers go, you got to have a lawyer for every occasion in Beverly Hills: a personal lawyer, nuisance lawyer, a divorce lawyer. How about your psychiatrist? A Freudian child for your pet? Now, police unlisted. Remember, we had that joke earlier. You got to have the private line to the police to get them to help you. Same with the fires. As for fire department, see police. Now, AAA, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, your astrologer, your psychic, your nutritionist. Also, this one I don't get exactly. The channeler. Does that mean like your remote control? Like channeler, because they say UHF, VHF, and BC. This one, I don't know. This one went over my head a little bit. Home delivery, though. Gourmet pizza, sushi, hot from the kitchen to your doorstep. Get it? Hot. Sushi's not hot. A Nouvelle Cajun shiitake fajitas with radicchio, walnut oil, and goat cheese. So whoever that was delivering that, I mean, maybe in this case it would have been Wolfgang Puck. Finally, the Benihana breakfast. A real eye-opener. Imagine waking up and finding a man twirling knives by your bedside, and you don't even know his last name. Finally, the gardener. Someone to blow your leaves on your neighbor's grounds, or your husband's clothes that you just threw out. Next one here. How many Beverly Hills matrons does it take to change a flat tire? 5. 1 to call the chauffeur. 4 to start the bridge game. All right. This is interesting here because they do have like a little instruction. They say, clip this handy checklist and put it by your phone in the living room, the den, the projection room, the cabana, the gym, the master bedroom, the other 14 bedrooms, the maid's room, the chauffeur's room, or the guest house. Gotta always be prepared, right? That's what being a wilderness girl is all about. Now, as far as rentals go, get your rental numbers on file for limousine, a jet, or, Dodger Stadium. You're just throwing a little get together at Dodger Stadium. How about your babysitters? Dr. Spock, Dr. Seuss, or Freddy Krueger? Gotta love it. Shopping, Gucci, Capucci, Fiorucci, or fill in the blank Gucci. By city ordinance, the names of all fashion designers in Beverly Hills must end in Uchi. Fill in the prefix of the Uchi you patronize. Next one, your plastic surgeon. You need a nose, a breast, a thigh. How about a side order of coleslaw, french fries, and baked beans? Great jokes here. I'm loving it. I'm loving the goofiness here. Personal services, manicure, pedicure, cure. You got to go see the Betty Ford Clinic for that. A masseur, electrolysis, hot waxing, free with any 20-gallon fill up. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, go fill up your tank at the gas station, Beverly Hills, get a free hot wax coupon. Hairstylist and Body by Jake. Body by Jake. For those who don't know, Jake was the personal trainer to the stars at the time. He had infomercials. He had a TV show called Big Brother Jake, I believe, is on the Family Channel. He's also the uncle, if I'm not mistaken, of Haley Steinfeld, who we know from so many, different, a lot of superhero projects, but also, she's just in Sinners and everything else. So that's kind of cool. And now the schools of Beverly Hills. We have private, public, pre, and reform. I'd have to send that naughty, spoiled rich kid to a reform school. All right, here's our next joke. What does a Beverly Hills wife say when she's making love? Pink. Let's paint the ceiling pink. Her mind is elsewhere, you might say. All right, this next one is kind of crazy. We're going full screen on this. Seeing the stars in Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is a stargazer's paradise, except that the stars don't come out at night. You have to come to them. No problem. For a few $1,000, you can board a bus whose guide will point to trees, bushes, barbed wire fences, and no trespassing signs behind which famous people are rumored to live. Nobody knows for sure because nobody on any of these buses has ever actually seen a movie star, but that's okay. Since there's no other public transportation in Beverly Hills, the buses come in handy if you have to go from one side of town to the other. Some guides get desperate and cheat as a dark figure in a babushka scurries out of the side door of a secluded estate. The guide will shout out, "Quick, to your left, that's Barbara Streisand." Before you can turn around, she's taken off in a 58 Nova. Who knows? Maybe it was Barbara Streisand heading incognito for a night on the town in West Covina. The other alternative is to buy a map of movie star homes and do it yourself. Simply head for Sunset Boulevard, where hawkers in caps reading movie star maps and t-shirts from rock groups, which broke up 5 years ago, compete for your cash. Better yet, clip out the map on the next page. It's about as accurate as anything you'll find on Sunset Boulevard, and you can put the $5 you saved towards dinner at Spago or Chasen's, where you might actually see somebody famous, like the chef. All right. So, they have all these just random houses. I mean, there's nothing special about the actual map itself, but the corresponding numbers of who you might see in Beverly Hills is pretty fantastic. And there's some some crossing over of reality and fiction once again here, some meta stuff. For example, number 1, you might see Pee Wee Herman, but you might also see Shelley Long, Craig T. Nelson, Pia Zadora, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Frankie Avalon, Annette Funicello, Cheech Marin, and Dr. Joyce Brothers, all of whom appear in the film, either starring or just a cameo, right? So that's really fun. Next one here, though, you might see Alf, you might see Moe, Curly, Larry, yes, the Three Stooges, Hunts Hall, Fawn Hall, Arsenio Hall, Union Hall, Arnold Schwarzenegger's dentist, Tom Selleck's tailor, Telly Savalas's barber, Molly Ringwald, Molly Picone, Molly Bloom, Molly Dodd days, Molly Dodd nights. I don't get that one. I'd be curious to know if somebody could explain that to me. You might see the Grateful Dead, C-3PO, Mr. Ed, Mrs. Johnny Carson, Mrs. Johnny Carson, Mrs. Johnny Carson, Mrs. Johnny Carson. A joke that Johnny Carson had been married and divorced several times, even by 1989. Next up, also has a cameo in the film, Robin Leach from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Robin Williams, Robin Givens, Robin Hood, Norma Desmond from Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard. My bad. Hollywood Boulevard. No, Sunset Boulevard. Lassie, Benji, Prince, Jen and Granny Clampett, or Eddie Murphy. Oh, you got to see the Beverly Hillbillies when you're in Beverly Hills, right? Okay, so that was a lot of fun there. All right, but next up here, this is a big part of the movie, right? Where they create their own patches. And I love that we actually get a close-up look at the different patch designs. You know, the sushi appreciation patch, the pedicure patch, the hospitality patch, the credit card appreciation patch. We have the divorce court patch. We have the jewelry appreciation patch. All right, but let's read about this here. They say the Wilderness Girls of America win patches for things like carving totem poles, stewing squirrels, and sleeping overnight in snake infested swamps. That way, someday they'll be prepared to take their place in society. But since Troop Beverly Hills does its camping on Rodeo Drive, its patches signify subtler survival skills, like coming in first in the shopping Olympics, or as they say in Beverly Hills, going for the gold card. At the same time, they make a nifty fashion statement. By following the guidelines in this survival guide, you too will be entitled to proudly sport patches like those shown on this page. Now, we got another joke. What's the all time hit X rated movie to play Beverly Hills? Debbie Does Dishes. They're getting a little randy here. I don't know, having a little fun there. All right, lifestyles of the rich and thrifty. You may have heard that the necessities of life tend to be pricey, Beverly Hills. Au contraire, mon capitaine. If you're a savvy shopper like Phyllis Neffler, you'll find bargains galore in the chic I guess, of Rodeo Drive. To check your own consumer IQ, take the following quick and easy test. Below is a list of everyday goods and services found in Beverly Hills. Jot down what you think each item costs, then turn the page and compare your figures with the actual price tags. So yeah, a little Price is Right type of game here. I do have to say, I love that they were able to pull out actual phrases used in the script, you know, in the film itself. You know, the Mon Capitan, you know, is what she calls Velda, you know, in talking about being thrifty, you know, was one of the things that was written on her application to become a Wilderness Girls leader. But we have another joke. How does Beverly Hills housewife call the kids for supper? Okay, everybody into the limousine. A haircut, bathroom faucet, desk blotter, round to golf, wristwatch, car wash, bar soap, purse, denim jacket, and a bird cage. I wouldn't deign to even have some idea in 1989 what those things cost. But luckily, on the next page, they do tell us what these things cost with a little bit of commentary and some jokes mixed in. So, for example, in Beverly Hills, a wristwatch from Cartier is face protected by a solid gold tiger with emerald eyes. The band is encrusted with 5 rows of diamonds. That set you back $32,000. Unless you're Phyllis Neffler and you see that one of those diamonds is missing, you might get a couple bucks off, you know, maybe 1,000. All right, next one here. A car wash from Mr. Sparkle, including hand cleaning with a Q-tip and toothbrush, $150. Now, was there really a Mr. Sparkle? Because, you know, we think about The Simpsons, the Mr. Sparkle episode, but was that a real car wash in Beverly Hills? I'd love to know. Now, a haircut in Beverly Hills from Christoph, including cellophane, coloring, and body wave, $200. If you want to blow dry, that's $30 extra. Now, a bar of soap from Bijan, voted Fragrance of the Year, $32.50. A purse from Gucci in understated antique crocodile with shoulder strap and no clasp is $6,400. A bathroom faucet from Forms and Functions with gold-plated pipe and malachite handles, that is $4,477.89. Ay, ay, ay. A denim jacket from Lena Lee, hand painted, beaded, and bowed is $748. A desk blotter from Gumps, made from rare antique book bindings, that's at $1,750. Or just buy the entire desk set for $4,450. You know, you gotta coordinate. It's very important. A bird cage from Haymaker Schlemmer, 100 pounds of solid brass, but you have to have your own bird. Either way, that'll set you back 4,400. And finally, a round of golf at the Hillcrest Country Club. Well, first you got to join the club, and that membership fee is $57,500 for monthly dues of $400 going forward after that. P.S. There's a waiting list. You're not going to get in right away. And you thought you couldn't get by in Beverly Hills on a measly fortune. All right, next up here is the Beverly Hills social calendar. This is pretty fantastic. So in January, the white sales are on. Buy something white. You know, a white Ferrari, a white Ermine, the White House. In February is Valentine's Day. Send a card to someone you love. MasterCard, Visa, a charge account, a Giorgio. In March, a great month for moviegoers, Troop Beverly Hills opens March 22nd. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, located in Beverly Hills, holds its annual Oscar Bash March 27th. April 15th is Beverly Hills is invaded by the IRS. A stockbroker assures a client that we have a special bond. It turns out to be a junk bond. In May 1st, on this date in 1912, the Beverly Hills Hotel officially opens. Alexander Graham Bell has his agent page him at the Polo Lounge. In June, it's time to say I do again. Pick up someone at the bar, at the bistro, then pick up your wedding gown at the cleaners. In July, Beverly Hills sponsors a campaign to save the whales. It's a success. No whales die in Beverly Hills. Hey, bravo, bravo. In August, a Culver City resident wins California's $50. In August, a Culver City resident wins California's $50 million lottery, buys a fixer-upper, Beverly Hills. In September in 1941, Beverly Hills' famous Golden Triangle is completed. Motorists call it the Bermuda Triangle. Someone attempts a left turn and is never seen again. In October, Beverly Hills holds its first rock and roll festival. The rocks are from Cartier. The rolls are croissants or croissants. All right, November, Thanksgiving. Beverly Hills residents give thanks that the lottery winner moved back to Culver City. Hey, get out of here. Finally, in December, Christmas. The motto of Beverly Hills changes from shop till you drop to it's better to give than to receive. And our final joke of this little pamphlet, what's black and brown and looks good around the neck of a Beverly Hills divorce lawyer? A Doberman Pinscher. So there you go. That was our exploration of the Beverly Hills Survival Guide, published as a public service by Troop Beverly Hills of the Wilderness Girls of America. This was a delight. I love that this exists. I'm so grateful that somebody had it in a drawer or a box somewhere all these years and put it up for sale. But the people that put it together obviously were invested in the movie. They had a familiarity with it. So for someone like me who just knows every line, knows it back to front, I'm so excited to have added this to my collection. Thanks for joining me for the conversation. I hope that you got a few laughs out of it as well. And I'm sure I'll be back to share something soon enough. So many collections around here, you know. But either way, hope you have a fabulous day. Bye bye.